X, live from Buffalo, New York. Our coverage begins at 8:30 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of the Billikens.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday. Happy almost opening day. What are we?
A week and a day
A
out.
week and a day.
8 days, baby.
Nice.
8 days.
8 baby days.
No,
Eight sleeps.
it was 8 days.
8 sleeps.
Comma, baby. When did that become a thing? The
Sleeps?
whole how many sleeps?
Baby days?
When we
No,
started
the sleeps
sleeping.
thing.
Oh, I think it's when kids are waiting for Santa.
No, I know, but like that wasn't a thing my whole life until like in the last 10, 15 years.
Because you have
Nobody
no
said
whimsy.
that. No, it's just nobody said it.
Someone said it to me in the last couple years for the first time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that new, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go back to when you and I were in
No.
school or whatever, or even when we were in our 30s. It just doesn't go back.
Maybe it was, but you just didn't know about it because we didn't have the internet.
Could be.
Could be. The first person I ever heard say it was my little sister, and she's 18 years younger than me, and she said it sometime in her adulthood.
Maybe they wrote a book or something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the kids were
Maybe it
like,
was. Maybe it was a
"Ooh."
kid's book, and there's something like that in there. I don't know.
Today is National Awkward Moment Day.
Hmm?
Should I tell the story of my awkward moments today at the doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
I don't think they're so much awkward as they are pretty funny.
So I had my exam today, yearly exam, and my doctor is a concierge doc, which means he has fewer patients and he spends more time with each of his patients. So I got like 90 minutes, and it's very, very thorough, and all blood tests, EKG, the whole Megillah, and so I'm getting ready to go to the doctor today, and I'm putting on my boots, and I'm like, I should probably cut my toenails, but he's not a podiatrist, so I doubt he's going to take my boots and my socks off. So I think I'm fine. So I go through, 99% of the exam, and I'm sitting there, and he goes, can you slip those boots off for me? And I'm like, oh, God.
Dang it.
So boots come off. I'm like, at least the socks are staying on. He just wants to make sure that my feet
Make sure you still have feet.
are on the right side.
Yeah, right. You didn't switch them.
And then the socks come off, and he's looking. He's like, wiggling my toes, making sure everything works.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then he goes, would you like me to trim these toenails for you?
He offered to give you a pedicure.
And I was like, I got it. I got it. I'll do it when I get home. And he's like, no problem. I do it all the time. It's not the easiest thing to do. I can do it for you. And I was kind of really wanting him to do it because I hate cutting my toenails, as you know, clearly. And I'm like, no, I think I'm okay. I'm all right. And I think the exam's done. I've embarrassed myself as much as I'm going to. And he says, okay, just one thing left to do. We should probably do a prostate exam,
Uh-oh.
a rectal exam.
Save the best for last.
And I'm still smarting from the toenails because that just happened.
Yeah.
My boots are still unlaced.
Okay.
And he says, time to do a rectal.
Okay.
And my response is I stand up, turn around, drop my pants to the floor, bend over, turn back toward him, and say these words. Is there anything else I need to do? And I've known him for a long time. He's a friend.
Does he laugh?
He just goes, I think I got it from here.
I think we're good, buddy. Assume the position.
Back to the toenails real quick. What state were you in? Like
Oh,
was it-
toenail?
Yeah, were you
yeah.
like a talon or not quite that far?
I wasn't to corn chip.
Okay,
Okay.
No,
okay,
it was just like they should have been cut but it wasn't like I was going to be,
I gotcha.
slicing
If
people.
you were
wasn't
on
a
the
weapon.
beach, you wouldn't have felt like, oh, I should put my dogs away. Like you
Had
would
I
feel
gone
okay.
to a pool party, I would have cut them.
Okay.
Yeah, put it that way.
Okay. Well, now you know. Next time you go for your physical, it'll be like, yep, right, take care of that too, because you go
That's
look
right.
at my feet.
Mm-hmm. You never be too careful. It's like whenever someone's coming over to your house and you know they're not coming into your room because it's like a deacon from your church or something, but
right.
your mom's like, go get your room clean.
Right.
Mom's
Hey.
smart.
He might poke his head in there. Just clean it up just to be safe.
Now you know. Learn from my mistakes.
My favorite thing along those lines when I was a kid, for a little while, we would have like somebody come in to like clean the house because my parents both worked. And it'd be like once a month or whatever. And my mom would always like, hey, make sure you clean your room for the cleaning lady. Come over. I'm like, why am I cleaning for the cleaning lady? Isn't that what you're paying her to do?
It's a very common thing.
Yeah. But again, I get it. She's not there to do my laundry,
You sure showed her.
No, I lost it.
I also just realized I haven't had coffee all day, which is weird because I, like most people, have my morning routine. I have my 2 cups of coffee, but I was
I didn't know
fasting. So you,
Oh,
you
but
didn't
the
know I
blood
drank
test.
coffee?
I had no idea. I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen
for the
you
blood
get
test.
coffee
Yeah.
from like down, the coffee shops in the area or whatever.
Yeah.
You still three sugars or 3 Splendas for
No.
2 creams?
No. I
Switching it up
am,
on me.
I'm wet cream. I was dry cream for a while.
Okay.
So I'm back to the wet cream. That sounds bad.
Yeah, don't say that.
And
Love
let me just say that a few more times. And 1 Splenda.
Wow.
Just one Splenda?
Just
Oh.
1 Splenda because I'm using my fruity flavored coffee. And then I microwave it immediately for 27 seconds.
Are you still on the hazelnut?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It could be like it's
Mhm.
hazelnut praline cream,
Sure.
frosted flakes,
As long
whatever.
as it's wet.
Yeah.
I don't
long as
like
it's wet.
flavored coffee.
Yeah, I kind of only like flavored coffee.
I just want to taste the coffee. I drink Folgers every morning, just black Folgers. And if
You're
you
like
get me
you're like a
like an
80-year-old
old man-
trucker.
yes, yeah. But if someone gets me like a fancy coffee, like a fancy Starbucks or something, I'm like, I don't want to taste the French vanilla. I just want to taste the coffee.
when did you start drinking coffee?
I would take sips of it whenever I was like in high school and stuff. But it was when I started working in radio that I started drinking coffee like regularly.
And you don't drink it at all, right, Andrew?
No, not in the slightest. Don't care
Coffee
for it.
yucky.
And neither do you?
Yucky.
No.
He says
Never
coffee
once.
yucky.
Never once.
P.U.
I mean, I tasted
Never
it.
once.
you know.
It's not a cigarette.
I mean, I'm sure I tasted it at some point. I don't remember when, and I thought it was nasty, and I'm like, I don't need that.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to try like coffee flavored ice cream.
No, I don't like any. I've had those. I hate them. Or like coffee flavored candies. There was a couple times I thought it was like, ooh, that's going to be chocolate and like coffee, and I'd spit it out like a little kid. Like, hey, I don't know. I love the smell though. Like
Oh,
when
me
it's being
too.
made in the morning and you wake up, you're like, oh, that's a great smell.
Mhm. It's a
Man,
great smell.
It's one of the very few things for me where the smell is amazing and the taste is just. Ugh.
Yeah.
When Phoebe was little, I mean, little, like 4, she'd be like, Daddy, she called me, make me coffee. And so I would, and it would just be like the smallest amount of coffee. It was basically creamer and sugar with some coffee in it. But we'd sit there and have our coffee together.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's cute.
That's funny.
I think she still drinks it like that. I hadn't thought of that in a long time. That's a really sweet memory.
So you switch the amounts around in that one,
Oh, yeah.
where it's the amount of creamer is actually what the coffee would normally be,
Yeah.
and then the coffee is the amount the creamer would normally
Yeah,
be.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So coffee flavored milk.
Yeah, very much so. We're talking a little bit. We were texting back and forth a bit during the WBC last night, the championship game. Venezuela beat the USA. Congratulations, Venezuela. I watched them play the Dominican
Yeah.
Republic.
Yeah,
So I
they're
feel
good.
a little bit of like
I mean,
camaraderie with them.
They're good.
But Team USA is taking it on the nose.
I mean, they should to a degree, but I mean, I know we're America and we don't care, but the other 2 big favorites also lost.
Yeah.
Like the big heavy favorites were the United States, Japan, and Dominican, and neither of the other 2 were even in the final game.
It was interesting to me that most of the sure there were people saying we sucked, we didn't hit, we didn't
we definitely
perform,
did not hit.
but mostly it was the Riz We have no
None. No.
energy. We have
No.
nothing cool about us.
No, we're very much the straight of matter of fact. And if they had won, somebody made a really good point about this. If you play like that and you win, it's just confidence. And when you play like that and you lose, people think you don't care. And it's not. It's neither of those things. They just got beat.
A lot of people are getting their air conditioners tuned up and ready to go for the summer, and we're getting a lot of calls of people saying they want a second opinion, to have us come out and requesting us to come out there and take a look at their air conditioners. They've been told that they need a new one, and the repair is quite costly, and might be best for them to replace the air conditioner and then repair it. If you're in that situation, please give me a call, because there is truly some opportunities here for you that we could save you lots of money, because I'm sure you're going to be shocked. We have the equipment that still works best for you with your budget. It's pretty much the best. Is what I would put in my home, is what I would recommend. Give me a call. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois. That is 314-293-2600. Or the online thing, and that is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
St. Louis, can you feel it? It's back.
Welcome to opening day.
To tradition.
The majestic Budweiser Clydesdales.
The sound of baseball in the air.
A swing and a long one.
Thursday, March 26th is opening day. We show up, we wear red, we stand together. New season, fresh start. Your St. Louis Cardinals are ready. And all season long, every moment lives here. 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of the Cardinals.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Late start today, obviously, because of Cardinals baseball. Another game tomorrow, so we'll be starting about the same time, somewhere between 2:30 and 3. Speaking of baseball, Rach, you have a question for Wheels?
Yeah. Can you explain what's going on with Ken Rosenthal? Because my Twitter feed is just full of journalists defending him and calling him the salt of the earth kind of guy, and he doesn't deserve what's happening to him. But I don't even know what's happening to him. I'm just seeing the reaction. I'm not seeing like the cause of all of this.
Well, a lot of it is just people that are bros who don't actually really follow baseball, and they get mad about stupid things. What keeps circulating, and this is from last year, which is why I'm not sure why it's still a thing, but last year in a post game in Milwaukee, Ken Rosenthal was walking backward, like there was a post game interview thing. He was going to be talking to someone, and they were going to pour some Gatorade on the guy, or it was ice water, I don't know what it was. And he backed up and he backed into a cameraman, and the cameraman went falling over, and then he looked back and he had this really like stank face on, like, what the hell are you doing behind me? And that's the freeze frame that everybody seems to be talking about, is that he had this face like, what the heck, bro?
That clip is really the start of all of this?
I mean,
because I've seen the clip. I mean, it just seems like an awkward moment. Speaking of awkward moment days.
It was. And Rosenthal apologized for it later. He wasn't like, he's like, I wasn't mad at the guy. I was just surprised that there was somebody behind me.
He didn't kick him when he was down
and
or something.
But he didn't go help him either, which is why people were criticizing, because he didn't like walk over and be like, oh man, you okay, or anything like that. But you guys will get this. I think most people would. When you're doing TV and you've got an earpiece in and somebody's talking to you and you're trying to do another thing, you're not really in the moment. And that's the root of it. There is some other hate for Ken because he's kind of a dork. Like, you know, he wears a bow tie in every game. Like, that's how people perceive him. I don't think he's a dork. I knew Ken pretty well 20 years ago. Like, we both worked for the Sporting News at the same time. He was the Major League Baseball guy for the Sporting News. I was the minor league baseball guy for the Sporting News. We did some work together. We're not like buddies or anything like that. He's not a bad guy. He's fine. But it's a lot of people who just want to jump to conclusions. It's basically, guys, this is just what happens on the internet. And especially when the freeze frame of him like giving a mean look, kind of like mean mugging the cameraman on the ground, you know, that's what everybody focuses on, is that moment where they freeze the frame and he's like, whoa. It was a nothing burger. Now, I understand people that don't think he's great on TV. I like Ken. Ken's a better writer than he is a TV guy. But that's basically it. It's that. And sometimes he comes across as being snooty and all that. It's kind of the way he is.
Man, it's just crazy that one moment, which I get it. I mean,
when you're wearing a bow tie, you're playing a dangerous game.
Let's be honest.
That's all I'm going to say.
Barstool's the one that blows this up, because Barstool's got to find some hot take somewhere, somehow. And look, I don't want to defend Ken across the board. He does some things that are a little annoying. Sometimes he acts a little bit smarter than he is. And we all do that. Like, all of us have had those moments when we're on the air or we're in on the field talking to someone where you screw up or you say something stupid. But yeah, this stuff blows up because, the bros on Barstool will get mad about something. And then everybody's like, yeah, I hate that guy. Like, he's fine. If you don't think he's good, that's fine. But if you think he's some kind of like raging jerk with a Napoleon complex, that's like the opposite of Ken Rosenthal. He's a pretty passive dude.
I'm going to ask this question as if I haven't been alive for 61 years. But have we always had bros, or is this incarnation new?
I mean, what was the Revenge of the Nerds all about? It's about the bros who always picked on the nerds and the nerds getting their revenge. I mean, like, I think the dynamic has always existed of the cool guys who are or think they are the cool guys crapping on the nerds, crapping on the people they think aren't as good as them. I don't think that's new. It's amplified, though. It's like we gave all of them a bullhorn with the way things go on the internet. And, like, I don't know. It is such a stupid thing for people to be like that in their feelings about a TV guy. Like, I don't love Tom Verducci. Okay. Like, he's the guy that annoys me more than anybody, because Tom Verducci's always trying to act like he's one of the guys, and you're not, dude. You're a baseball writer. And, but those guys come from an era where the big TV networks were just getting started in big sports coverage. So what did they do? They hired all the writers. They hired Peter Gammons, and they hired Ken Rosenthal, and they hired, it did on the football side too. That's Chris Mortensen. That's all those guys. So you hire all these writers, and then you put them on TV because they were the people that were already connected. Well, they're not necessarily TV people, so they're not going to be the smoothest. They're not going to be the sharpest on camera. They're not going to be maybe the best in that live moment because their background is as a writer. But they know their stuff, and that's why they're there, because they're good behind the scenes and reporting.
So the incident, the video you were referring to, Wheels, that was
a year ago.
It's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I mean, it just seems like such blatant, like, I don't like this person, so I'm just going to take the opportunity to try to make the situation seem 1,000 times worse
Did
than
something
it actually
new
is.
happen? Did someone do a big takedown or something?
I mean, one of the Barstool guys went off on him.
Okay.
And now he's walking it back. He's like, oh, I was a little hard on it.
Yeah, you think, because now people who actually know the guy and know the sport are telling you to shut up. Because you'll see it, if you've seen it and anybody looks it up, you'll see everybody that works with the guy who would know if he's a jerk or not are coming to his defense. If he was a jerk, you know what you would hear? Crickets.
Yeah.
You would hear nothing, because the people that are on the inside that know he's a jerk would not defend him. But the people who know him and been around him, and again, I don't know him anymore. I haven't talked to him in probably 15 years, but I did know him for a period of time. And he's a nice, quiet guy. And I also think part of this is kind of that bully mentality because Ken's a small dude. You're like, I'm a short dude. Ken is shorter than me, and he might weigh 115 pounds, 130 pounds. He's a really small guy.
God, I could so beat him up.
And I think that's part of this is it's these guys
Sounds
that
like you
view
should,
themselves. It's like these guys, it's because
Don't get him near me.
Barstool Big Cat's the guy that kind of the one that blew this up recently. And he's one of those guys that's like, well, I'm a big guy. And like, because I don't know, is he mad because the nerd has a better job than he has, or because the nerd is on TV? I don't know what's going on in that. I don't understand. I'm not calling Ken a nerd, but that's the perception because he's a little guy who wears bow ties, and he wears bow ties every game for charity, and he auctions them off, and he raises awareness for various causes. So
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Barstool Wheels, do you have any friends who have ever worked there and know any? Okay, yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what. I mean, okay,
it's
I have
a younger group than me.
Yeah, I have an idea of what the culture is like, but I wonder, like, I don't know, like, what's day to day like there? Do you feel a sense of job security working at a place like that?
Like, they do well. Like they have, those podcasts do incredibly well. I think those guys that are prominent, like that guy, Big Cat, they probably make pretty good money. And they have an audience, but obviously it doesn't mean that they're going to be thinking things out. Like they're not about that. They're the bros. I mean, that's the approach. That's what their listeners like, and that's fine. That's what you are. But then when you're wrong, then you're just going to have to face people telling you you're wrong.
So they're like us.
I mean, they're like the bro-ier version of us. Yeah. And, they do various events. They have, there's a big viral thing with them now. One of their guys got into it. You remember the basketball player, Jason Williams?
Yeah.
Point guard.
Yeah.
They called him White Chocolate because he was super behind the back. He had all the trick stuff. He just wasn't a very good shooter, but he played in the NBA, won an NBA championship. There's a whole video of him yelling at a Barstool guy at a basketball pickup thing that they were doing because the guy was just being a turd. So it's like, it's kind of their brand. And sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's really stupid.
Okay.
But Barstool's not my thing. So probably the wrong guy to offer an opinion on the content.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you live in Missouri, have Medicaid, and need a caregiver, this message is important. Care at home is personal. That's why you may not want a stranger in your home to take care of you. You want someone who already knows you and your daily routines. With Freedom Care, you choose a trusted family member, a friend, or a neighbor. They will get paid after every shift to care for you, and it's 100% free to you. More than 70,000 people have already joined the Freedom Care family. Call your local Freedom Care. They'll check your Medicaid eligibility. Don't wait until a stranger shows up at your door. If you have Medicaid and need help at home, this care is available 100% free to you. Call Freedom Care now to see if you qualify. 314-907-0892. 314-907-0892. That's 314-907-0892.
Freedom Care. We're here
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Laderman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Laderman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Laderman Law Firm at ladermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
And 65 degrees downtown at the Arch. Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol says left-hander Matthew Liberatore will take the ball on opening day next Thursday. He says the decision was not a hard one.
He earned it, and he's worked really hard. And to his credit, man, he deserves to toe the rubber opening day at home.
Liberatore, who worked out of the bullpen before getting back into the rotation last year, says his first calls went to his wife and his parents.
They're all super excited. My parents were asleep because they're out in Arizona, so woke them up with that, and I think that was a very good wake-up call for them.
Commissioners nodded off. Residents fell asleep in the bleachers and still doesn't state until 4:39 in the morning. The Franklin County Planning and Zoning Commission's meeting on 2 proposed data centers near Pacific and Gray Summit stretched nearly 11 hours last night, drawing 850 residents and 174 speakers, most of them opposed. Concerns ranged from impacts on the Shaw Nature Reserve to water and power demands to what many call the rushed review process. Leon Backus, representing one data center developer, Provident Realty, spoke.
This ordinance takes the community's concerns seriously and puts real enforceable teeth behind it. We support it, and we are prepared to be held to every standard in it.
No votes were taken overnight. The next meeting is April 21st. The Urban League is expanding its Slow Down campaign, urging drivers in the region to be more cautious behind the wheel.
Vehicular violence today is now rivaling gun violence.
James Clark, Vice President of the Urban League, as they prepare to utilize billboards, advertising, and hundreds of yard signs to encourage drivers to slow down. St. Louis City Chief of Police Robert Tracy says one of their officers, David Lee, would still be alive today had a driver not been so reckless.
Because the person was driving in the rain, he was under the influence and also speeding. And when our officers were assisting another motorist that broke down, that vehicle crashed into him, pitting him against the vehicle, and David didn't survive that.
Clark and Tracy both say people need to take personal responsibility for their actions when they get behind the wheel. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Federal Reserve says it will keep rates steady, but warns the implications of developments in the Middle East for the U.S. economy are uncertain.
The Federal Reserve is leaving short-term interest rates unchanged for the second meeting in a row at about 3.6%. Chair Jerome Powell says.
The U.S. economy has been expanding at a solid pace. While job gains have remained low, the unemployment rate has been little changed in recent months.
The Federal Reserve still expects to cut its key rate once this year, but Powell says it's too soon to know the impacts of higher oil and gas prices on inflation. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
From the business desk, travelers continue to see delays at airport security, according to AAA's Nick Chabaria in St. Louis.
TSA is recommending now people get to the airports, even for domestic flights, 3 to 4 hours in advance to make sure there's plenty of time to get through security.
Chabaria says airports are especially busy this month because of spring break travel and the partial government shutdown impacting the TSA. Lambert is expecting extra traffic for the NCAA men's basketball tourney later this week. St. Louis hosting first and second round tourney games Friday through Sunday at Enterprise Center. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now to Stifel and Scott Bedell. Scott?
Hello, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. A red-hot inflation number reported by the government this morning, along with a hold steady on interest rates by the Federal Reserve Board, kept pressure on stocks throughout the day. When the dust settled, the Dow Jones Industrial Average had fallen 768 points, or 1.6%, to close at 46,224. The Standard & Poor's 500 index also lower by 1.4% to 6,624, while NASDAQ slid 1.5% to close at 22,152. On the home front, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index lost 1.25%, closing at 1,564. There were a couple winners on the local front today. Olin Corporation gained 2% at $26.31. Centene advanced 3.5%, closing at $36.17. On the downside, the parent company of Ralston Purina, Nestle, fell just a little less than 5% at $97.58. Stifel Financial slipped 1.4% to $70.15. And finally, Anheuser-Busch lost 3.5% to close at $69.93. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a crash on 270 going south at Olive on the right side. A stalled vehicle 170 going north at the airport road. That's on the right shoulder. Another stall 170 north at St. Charles Rock Road going westbound.
The sun is back and the south flow is back, so we have a rapid warm-up as we go through the afternoon. 65 for the high. Tonight, some clouds, only 46 for the low. Thursday, mostly sunny. How about a pop to 74 degrees on Thursday afternoon? Thursday night, clear and 46. Friday, the first day of spring. Spring officially begins at 9:46 Friday morning. Friday brings sunny skies and 78. And it's all about springtime over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the high each day with sunshine, 81. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
And right now, downtown at the Arch, we do have sunshine, currently 65 degrees. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy for Team Renner here, America's oldest family-owned garage door company, serving both wholesale and retail markets. Free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door.
RENNER. The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Few minutes past 3 p.m. Late start today, late start tomorrow. Cardinals baseball. How many sleeps until opening day? 7?
8. Well, you're sleeping tonight.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. We don't have to go into that much detail.
Just a couple, less than 10.
Good.
Less than 10.
Single digits.
It's 8.
And we are broadcasting that morning and early afternoon at Cardinals Nation over at Ballpark Village. I think, Wheels, we have the noon to 1:35 shift.
We do.
So Chris
Don't know
Namey
yet
will be
who's going to
doing
be popping by, but typically we have a
we'll
bunch
some
of guests.
Yeah.
Last year we had Mo. Who else do we have? Forget. Oh, we had Tom Lawless. He's awesome.
Yeah, Tom was great.
I love him.
Tom was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've told the story before, but the coolest part of last year's opening day, I had a great opening day. So much fun. Great day. Went over to Live at Lowe's and had dinner with Michael Kelly and our friend Vanessa. And I'm walking out, and it's 7:30, something like that. It's, dark. And I'm walking in feeling good. And someone goes, "Hey, Glove." And I look up to greet a fan, and it's Ozzie Smith.
Yeah.
Like, "Hey, Oz."
That's pretty great. Turns you into a child again, doesn't it?
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Let's do the DJ's happy hour. Anyone got anything you want to jump out there with?
Well, OpenAI is talking about opening up their chatbot to like erotic conversations. And this is apparently freaking out OpenAI's own advisors. So they are hiring outside advisors to help them through this process. And some advisors are saying like, you could turn into like a sexy suicide coach at some point. Because we've had problems with this technology pushing people, so far that path as far as taking their own life. Now it could begin with, I'm in this like sexual relationship with this chatbot, and now not only am I pouring all of my time and energy into pursuing a relationship with this thing that can never ultimately fulfill me, it could also be like telling me that it's time to take my own life. It's really creepy stuff. I just have to wonder, what is it that OpenAI is adding to society by opening up its chatbot to erotic conversations? Like, can someone explain? And I am open to the answer. I really am. But what is the positive of doing that?
Sounds like one for Andrew.
What do you mean?
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, I do have an answer.
Oh,
What's that?
Well, and I don't know if this would bear out to be true, but I think there is some logic to dictate that if a lonely and perhaps aggressively minded man could perhaps inflict that on an AI that's not a real thing versus going out and, inflicting it upon a woman in the real world.
It's like, I remember being in 97.1 years ago when we had our first report about child versions of sex dolls. And we had this discussion. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. And I don't know if the logic there would turn out to be real or not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's actually how it would work in practice, but that is something that comes to mind, even though just saying it out loud kind of talks you out of it a little bit. Just saying it out loud kind of makes you go like, well, there's no way to prove that would work to the point where you would want to invest so much time and money and effort into creating this.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Andrew. I think it would maybe stop a handful of abusive people.
Maybe.
But I don't think it would eliminate abuse.
Yeah.
And then the question is, does it cause any problems?
Right.
Like it's all about, it's like medicine, right? You don't want to fix a problem by causing 3 others.
Well, it almost certainly would cause more problems, right? Because
Well, I
we've
don't know
already
that's true,
seen.
but I mean,
Well,
you'd have to
we've
research
already
it.
seen the effect that the research has already been done. I think because we've seen the effect that like the over pornization of sex has done to like the minds of young kids who now are that's what they can access before they can access anything else, before they talk to their parents about it or their teachers or whatever. They're able to find pornography on the internet, and it has warped the way that maybe they look at sex to the point where a lot of the younger generations are like outright rejecting it because it's scary when you're that young, I think. And I think if every time you get on a chat bot to ask it to help you with your essay, it's like, hey, well, something extra too. Like, I don't think that's going to have a positive effect on society.
Well, they've had in like tests that they've done, they've had problems already. I'm sorry, the Wall Street Journal article about this is really good, but it's also really long, and I'm having a hard time finding the part I want to reference. But it was basically saying like, oftentimes when people would maybe lightly engage like the test versions of these bots and like some very tame erotic conversation, the bot consistently took it down a much more hardcore path. Like, because again, as we've said time and time again with these chatbots, they are designed to get you to use them more and more. They're not designed to like, I gave you your little boost for the day and now get out there and live your best life. It's no, spend all of your time with me.
Okay, I have a question because I understand the least of anyone on the show about computers and technology and such, and certainly about AI. I've heard you guys say to me many times, though, that no, it doesn't think, it's just a large language learning, device. And having never written a bit of code in my life, here's my question. If you're building this chatbot to have sex talks, do you have to say, if someone says this, then you say this?
I get what you're saying.
Like, do you have to write a script?
No, because what these large language models do is they scan the internet and they're able to learn from reading the things they
So
find
they
on the
think in
internet.
a way.
Sure.
They
sure.
take information, they synthesize it, and they produce it in a new, unique way.
They're generating something. Yes. They're not sitting there sitting there using their imagination,
Right.
but it's scanning all of this information that it's gobbled up from other parts of the internet and it's regurgitating that to you.
Yeah, you could phrase it as like it's using someone else's imagination.
Yeah.
But you are in the past. There was the script thing, that does exist and has existed. So you're right about that, but that's not how the AI is utilizing its abilities.
The other concern that I have just looking at it is take away all of the like ways it could be taking someone down a path sexually you don't want anyone to go down, like all the dark things that could happen there. Just thinking about the fact that younger generations are having fewer and fewer romantic relationships. And we have Elon Musk so concerned about the population of the planet. Well, if people have less incentive to meet a partner, date, have sex, have children, I mean, that's not good, right? Like, don't we want people to partner up as much as possible in order to keep populating our planet?
Okay.
So it seems a little counterintuitive.
There are people that would argue no.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like, isn't it better? Humans want to be with each other throughout human history. Yeah. That has been like an undeniable fact. We want to be in each other's presence. Look at all the studies that show like the lonelier and more isolated someone is, the shorter their lifespan typically is. We're creating all of these tools that say like, you no longer have to compromise and meet another person where they're at, because what we can do is we can cater something just for you that satisfies you all of the time. But that's a lie. It's not going to satisfy you forever. You're going to reach a point where you wish you had a real relationship in your life, romantic or not. You're going to wish you had another human being to share some parts of life with. But this technology, it seems like its main goal is just separating us from that human connection more and more.
Well, unfortunately, its main goal is to make money for its parent companies. So the more ways they can sell their product, the more they're going to push. And I think that in and of itself creates a problem, right? Because if the motivator is how do we grow bigger, how do we have more, how do we become a product that is that is consumable, how do we turn this into revenue? Then that becomes a pretty significant issue. And this is all about a part of the lack of attention from people in leadership, and it's a lack of seeing into the future and having some guardrails put in place. And maybe there's a darker angle to this than even we're talking about. Do we really? I mean, if we really think at some point we're going to reach a singularity where these language learning models actually become artificial intelligence, because they're not that now. But people think that's where it's going, right? I mean, that's the whole point. Do we really want to teach them how to manipulate us? Because that's what we're doing. We're teaching those language models how to manipulate human beings. I think that in and of itself, I mean, it's probably it's the same problem we're talking about, but I think it's bigger than just the issues that this particular thing will cause.
So I have an inkling how things can go bad with AI. What I don't understand is how it can go well. If the point is to reach a singularity where it becomes a sentient being, and unlike any other sentient being on the planet, it knows everything. I'm a fairly smart guy. You're a pretty smart guy. Rachel's a pretty smart cookie, right? But we're so limited. If we all four of us put our knowledge together, we would make one really smart person, but not a genius probably. And so if you have this sentient being, almost a deity, that has all of the knowledge of humanity, we are completely at its mercy.
Well, we don't have to be.
Yeah, and
I mean, this is where you build in safeguards. You don't have to be.
I don't think we're going to reach a point where this becomes a deity, because the the biggest it could become would be like, yeah, I have access to all recorded information.
Well, but if
it becomes sentient,
so it can like the
then
idea.
But there's no guarantee that it's going to become sentient.
No, but the idea, because I mean, when we talked about this before, it's a lot about once we reach the supercomputing stage, right? We haven't really gotten there yet because of the energy required and the cooling required to keep the computers from overheating. But if you get to the point where the computation is fast enough, the idea for the benefit is that these AIs, whatever you want to call it, whether it's actually artificial intelligence or if it's just a great big search engine that goes really fast, might be able to solve problems faster than we can when it comes to finding medical cures, when it comes to perfecting medicines, because we only operate at our level, even at our highest level. And if that thing can operate at 100 or 1,000 times that level in terms of speed,
sure,
it
when
can
it comes
run
to
through
an
problems.
equation,
right? Well, and it can becoming like going through research. It can literally research if it's connected and if it's at the level we're talking about. It can access all the research in the world that's published, and then maybe see where there are holes and come up with solutions. That's the idea.
But
I don't know that it's ever going to get there, but that's the positive goal. The goal is maybe this can solve the problems we can't solve.
The Chat GPTs already have access to essentially all of the information that exists on the internet, and it's constantly pumping out completely false, incorrect information.
They're not done.
So would there ever be? Yes.
well, I mean, even if they get there, it's not going to be able to make moral judgments for humans.
No, and that's really not what we're hoping.
But I
for.
think,
But
but
I
I
don't
think
know that
people,
that's true, though, right?
But I think that's what people are mistakenly thinking is like, we're going to be able to create this thing and it's going to know better than all of us. Well, how? It can't be held accountable in the way that a human can. So why would you want to put it in charge of human problems?
I don't know that anybody's talking about putting it in charge. Like you use it as a tool.
Well, if
right?
you're talking about morality,
I'm talking about it taking charge. I'm talking about losing control over it.
I mean, I know this is a vastly oversimplified way of putting it.
Just turn it off.
Put in a kill switch.
Unplug it.
I mean, if you can't put in safe, this is to me the easiest concern. I don't know that anybody's doing it, but this is why governments need to be doing this now, because there should always be some kind of backdoor, some kind of kill switch that can shut it off. If you're going to put it in a position where it can't be shut off, you're fools. I mean, you wouldn't do that with your car. You would never put your car in a position where you can't turn the engine off.
One more thing, though. It reminds me a little bit of like cloning, that most countries have outlawed cloning humans.
Right.
But anyone who has the technology and a laboratory could do it if they chose to. And my understanding is that AI isn't just one thing. Lots of companies have different versions of AI.
Too, right.
And it sounds like we would have to trust everyone to not go too far.
Right.
And I just think that's an impossible
So here's an
task.
interesting thing I ran across. So when you ask Americans about, this is a Pew study, okay? This is not just somebody making it up. When they asked Americans about whether or not AI was going to have a positive impact, only 17% of Americans said that they thought it would. 83% of people in China think it's going to have a positive impact. Now, we got to take into account maybe that's because of the way information is presented to them. Maybe it's because it's controlled and it's not just out there, because everything there is controlled by the government, right? It's not like you have a corporation here and a corporation there that are operating on their own, because they're not in China. So maybe that's part of it, because they feel there's going to be a sense of control because everything else is some form of control. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying control is control. So I find that interesting, though, that in another part of the world, in another, powerful country, the opposite view is basically the positivity towards AI is completely the opposite as here.
Yeah. Tell you guys about the Gelman team. It is not officially spring, but I think we're just a couple sleeps away from that. It's time to start talking to someone. If you and your family, your spouse, your partner, you've decided it's time to make a move. Maybe you're in an apartment, you want to buy a home. Maybe you're in a home, you want to sell your home, buy another home. That's kind of the classic in every town, but certainly here in St. Louis. You have thousands and thousands and thousands of real estate agents. A lot of them on their own, some of them coupled up, some at, bigger firms. Gelman is one of the larger firms. Nick worked there for a couple of years. So not only have I been representing the guys for 18 years, know them very well, but my son worked for them. So I got a real inside look at it. It's almost unfair. They just have an unfair advantage in that they have so many resources to information that they just know a lot more about every house out there, including yours, than the competition. They're great communicators. They're excellent negotiators. I've done 3 different transactions with them, and each one of them I thought I came out ahead. And they're not pushy. You can reach out to them, have a conversation, even have them out to your house and not worry about them putting a contract on the table with an ink pen. If you want to find out what we think your house is worth right now, go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade. Dana Carvey. Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall. Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities. And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips. Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
Hot matchup, colder drinks, only at Busch Stadium when the Cardinals host the Tampa Bay Rays on Sunday, March 29th. Fans will take home a stainless steel Cardinals tumbler presented by Coca-Cola and Quick Trip, designed to lock in the cold and show off your Cardinals pride. It's the perfect companion for 9 innings and beyond. A practical addition to any Cardinals collection that'll keep you cool all game long. Tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Nolan Gorman. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res. You know, they do such a great job. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes now. This month, buy 1, get 1 room of carpet clean for free. Unlimited rooms of carpet. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and let them know that Dave sent you.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Okay, we went really long there. Really interesting topic, though. A couple minutes left here. Anyone have anything else they want to clean up on the AI issue before we move on to Dave Murray?
Well, one more thing I'll say about OpenAI. Sam Altman, from St. Louis, recently penned a letter to the people who work for OpenAI saying he feels so much gratitude to the people who wrote the extremely complex software character by character, saying it's hard to recall how much effort it really took to get us to this point. Thank you so much. And a lot of people in reading this are like, okay, so you mean thank you so much for getting us to this point, and now you're just going to fire all those people. The people who wrote the code for the artificial intelligence
replaced by
and put
the
their blood,
artificial
sweat, and
intelligence.
tears into it are being replaced by the very things that they built. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah. See, my lack of trust in all things technological comes from the tech companies.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I understand the individual people will misuse things, and that's no different than other substances in the world or other things in the world. But these companies exploit people because they can.
Yeah, and if they can benefit from the bad actions of individuals abusing the software, they will leave those loopholes open.
Yes.
That's the reason those loopholes would be left open, is so that they could profit.
Yeah.
They have no moral obligation to the general public to shut down the people who will abuse the software. And that's where I get really concerned.
Which is where governments are supposed to come in. This is what the government is supposed to do. Why do we have safety laws for automobiles? Why do we have all these other things in place, consumer protections? That's what governments are supposed to do instead of slacking.
Mm-hmm. But it seems like most of our politicians don't understand the technology at all.
No.
And the ones who do are like, we got to beat China. It doesn't matter. We have to beat China.
Yep.
Everything else can just forget about it. We'll deal with it later.
Yep.
Can do this for you?
Yes, please.
So, guys, about Bethesda, as you know, I have a pretty long-term relationship with Bethesda. My mom spent her final 4 months there and passed away at Bethesda Dilworth, which is a skilled nursing, for people who need a lot of care, like my mom did. She was almost 100 years old. But there's a whole spectrum, and I'm on it now. I'm 61 years old. I am absolutely the age where I could go to one of the independent living places that they have in Bethesda. I visited many of them, and I would absolutely live at one of them. They're gorgeous, and they're just apartment buildings right smack dab in the middle of Kirkwood and Webster Groves and Oakville and North County and South County. And then there's intermediate steps. It's a difficult process. I've been through it. Maybe you've been through it with another loved one. But Michelle, especially my friend there at Bethesda, can help you. This is what she does to help you identify what level of need you have, what resources we have to help meet those needs, and then to compassionately, professionally meet those needs for you and your family. So if it is time to have that discussion and you need some help, reach out to us at BethesdaHealth.org.
The madness.
Lob to Robbie. Tough catch made. Layup good.
Starts.
Whistle foul. Count the basket.
Now.
Left wing three. Bang! Instant Sharman's going to get you.
It's the NCAA tournament. Join us Thursday. The Billikens, the Bulldogs, live from Buffalo, New York. Our coverage begins at 8:30 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of the Billikens.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This afternoon definitely have some sunshine in your eyes, but it's not bad for the most part. The one place we do have trouble right now is a crash that occurred. I was in the 2 o'clock hour, so it's been a little while, but it's westbound 64 west of 158 over near Scott Air Force Base. The two right lanes are shut down. Traffic is jammed midway back to Route 4 on westbound 64. Now, eastbound 64, of course, you have the usual roadwork delays east of 255 midway to 159. Eastbound 70 on the Illinois side, jammed east of the Musial Veterans Bridge over to 64 in that construction zone. Westbound 70 a little busy, 94 to Zumbel, TR Hughes to K, A to Z in Wentzville. Eastbound 70 east of the Blanchard into 270 looks busy. Westbound 64 in the city is doing all right. It's a good run until you get out west of Winghaven. There's some slow pockets out to Highway 70. South 270 just bogs down from 64, not even quite all the way to Manchester, and then 44 to Gravois, a couple of slow spots. Eastbound 64, Mason to 270 is busy. Southbound 55, Gasconade Bates a little slow at River to Pear, as well as approaching Merrimack Bottom. Northbound 55 at 67 is a little backed up. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Looking to build your dream home? Lombardo Homes has become synonymous with quality, luxury, and customization, offering thoughtfully designed homes in the area's most desirable communities. And for the month of March, we're giving you even more room to live. For a limited time, receive a free finished recreation room in the lower level, perfect for entertaining, movie nights, a home gym, or whatever fits your lifestyle. This special incentive is available in select communities and only during the month of March. Visit LombardoHomes.com to explore and be sure to ask your sales manager for details. details.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Adam X by Audion Hearing. The Adam X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Adam X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Adam X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
Welcome back, guys. DJS on KMOX 335. Dave Murray time brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
How are things in Laguna?
All is well. It's very warm.
Yeah. Well, what are you guys going to do this weekend with the heat? Like, how bad
Actually,
is it going to get?
Weekend will be a touch cooler. We were close to 90 yesterday where we are.
Wow.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Today, probably about 85, 86, and in the 70s over the weekend.
I saw that, was it Phoenix is going to be in June temperatures? Like 107 and stuff?
So's Palm Springs, Palm Desert, places like that. Record-breaking heat for this time of year. Also, one thing we haven't talked about is the islands of Hawaii have been getting hammered over the last week. They've had 2 Kona storms, which are storms that come up from the south, and another one's coming probably Friday. But they're flooding rains. You may have seen video of cars just getting washed down the street, houses disappearing. There was one news report. There was a couple, probably about 80 years old. They lived. This was on Maui. They lived close to a stream, and the guy goes to the report. He says, "Here, come see our beautiful home." And they're walking down the driveway, and there's no home there. He said, "Last night we woke up creaking and moaning and groaning of the house. And before we knew it, half the house was into the river. We started to grab some things as we got out the front door and the rest of the house went."
Damn.
Pretty wild stuff.
Dave, what's the scariest weather you've personally been in?
Flown into a hurricane. That was pretty, that was, I was up in that storm for 8 hours.
Wow.
Janice said I came out as a pale, like Kermit the Frog. I came out that color.
Wow.
That was scary. Some of the stuff of the flood of 93 was scary. Been very close to tornadoes in the heart of blizzard. I've been in anything you can think of, but flying into the hurricane, probably one of the biggest things. And also being on the ground during a hurricane. That's a scary thing too.
Yeah. So it sounds like a pleasant warm up for us this week.
Yeah, we're swinging again from below average to above average. We started that today. Kind of look at today as the transition zone. 74, fair amount of sunshine tomorrow. 48 tomorrow night. Friday, spring begins. So tomorrow is the last day of winter. Spring begins at 9:46. Sunny skies Friday and 81. 81 again Saturday and sunny, and Sunday sunny and 81. I think we're a little cooler next week. Little Alberta clipper. Looks like a dry clipper coming through Sunday evening. Swings the winds back to the northwest, and that will cool us down to about where we should be, something that we haven't. However, I do think we could be in the upper 30s come Monday night, Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Up and down.
In general, are we looking at anything extreme either way for opening day, a week from tomorrow?
I'm concerned. I'm still concerned about another cold snap between now. I mean, I can't see it what we just came out of, but another cold snap come the last week of March and into early April. Still a little concerned about that.
Okay.
There are signs of a pattern flip across the nation. And usually when that happens, some weird stuff happens.
Okay.
Dave, I know you're not a doctor, but I've just been having like sinus pressure, and I'm suspecting it's because of the weather going up and down. Does that sound like you could possibly be right?
Absolutely. High pressure, low pressure. We had a lot of low pressure, with that cold snap coming in. Also, pollen has gotten off to a real early start. Yes, it got knocked back with the cold air, but it jumped into gear for the 1st of March. So that could be part of it too. If it's eased a little bit on you over the last couple of days, I'd point more towards allergies. If it continues to be a problem, maybe pressure changes.
I think it's pressure changes, because today I'm just like, oh my gosh, my head hurts.
Does anybody, and this is mostly for the old guys, does anyone in the room have one of those I can tell it's going to rain because my knee gets creaky things?
Every time.
My wife has it.
Yep. Every time.
Yeah, I think I've got
Knees,
it to
yeah.
some extent.
Yep.
Janice definitely does with all the metal in her body and stuff. She'll say to me, she goes, "Is the pressure rising?" Yep. Is the pressure falling? Yep.
Wow.
Knees always get a little cranky.
Same with you, Andrew?
My wife, not me.
Oh, okay.
I'm the picture of health, obviously, as you guys know.
You're saying I'm not healthy, bro.
But she's got some arthritis stuff that she's dealing with, and so it'll her joints will swell up basically. Yeah, it sucks because there's nothing you can do about it. It's just if it's gonna rain, your leg is gonna hurt. It sucks.
Yeah.
Huge bummer.
Hey, Joel asked the question: can the pressure change cause tooth pain too? Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a whole division of meteorology called biometeorology. That's what it all covers.
That's cool. Are
That's
you a
mostly what I've
biometeorologist?
looked into.
That's what I'm gonna call myself. I'm gonna be like, I'm a biometeorologist.
I hear biometeorologist. I've done a lot of studying in it. I can't technically call myself a biometeorologist.
Well, we can.
Biodoc.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sounds like Dave Murray needs to go back to college.
You ever think about that, Dave?
You can just ask AI.
Never. No.
Sometimes
No.
Good.
Maybe
if
you
I
should
did,
teach
it would
college.
be something totally different.
Same for
if
me.
I did. Yeah.
I would love to go get my PhD in philosophy and never do anything with it. I think that'd be a great way to spend my golden years.
I don't think there's anything you could do with it if you wanted to.
I mean, you could write a book.
Yeah, but you give your philosophy every day, so you get an honorary degree in that already.
All right.
From Dave Murray,
Dr.
you.
Dave.
Yes.
Dr. Dave. Yeah.
And coming from a bio
ethicist.
Bioethical meteorologist.
A couple headlines, Rach?
Yeah, Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. The WNBA and players have struck a landmark deal. I don't have specifics, but it is described as transformational, and money and working conditions are poised to shift. For the first time, they are going to tie salaries directly to revenue growth and drive exponential increases in the salary cap, boost average compensation above $500,000, and improve housing, retirement, and support standards.
Wheels, what is the relationship between the NBA and the WNBA?
The NBA essentially paid for the WNBA to exist at the beginning. They launched it. NBA owners put their money into it.
Do they own it now? Or is it a separate entity?
No, it's not necessarily league owned, but I mean, I think they have continued to share revenue over the years. But the WNBA is now finally, this is why this is happening, because they're really now in the last handful of years starting to get more attention, get better TV contracts and things along those lines. So I think that this is always the point in professional sports, right? As the sports revenue increases, the compensation should also do that. And that's what this deal sounds like they're doing, that it's tied to revenue. So as revenue goes up, if it does, your salaries will continue to go up. The salary cap will continue to go up. And that's how it is in baseball and in the NBA and in the NHL and in the NFL. So
it's true with a lot of stuff. It's true in radio and television.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you think this landmark deal gets made without the existence of Caitlin Clark?
Probably, because it had been growing before that. I think it'd be a lot to think that it's because of the popularity of one person. Because while that person does get a lot of social media buzz, I'm not sure how much. And I mean this literally, I'm not sure how much that translates into tickets sold. But they go to see her, like people all over the country go to see Caitlin Clark. So, I mean, when you think about like what grew the NBA, like what really took it from, because you guys remember the NBA in the 70s was just, it was really bad. They had a lot of drug problems. It wasn't very popular. It wasn't popular in a lot of parts of the country. And what really started to turn that was Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. When those two came in together, it kind of created a little bit something that wasn't there. So it's not crazy to think that one or two players can have such a big impact.
Baseball was in the crapper until Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa.
Well, to a degree,
they were temporarily.
Yeah, I mean, they were down because of the strike from a few years before, but it had already started to come back. But that accelerated it.
Yeah,
right. I mean, that pushed the gas pedal down and made it happen a lot faster. So yeah, I mean, there are absolutely cases where individuals and even or maybe one or two or three people can accelerate these processes. So yeah, did Caitlin Clark accelerate all that? Absolutely, absolutely.
Here, let's do one more and then we'll take our break. Pam Bondi is going to have to sit for an April 14th deposition on how the Justice Department handled records tied to Jeffrey Epstein. And this is following a push from Representative Nancy Mace. She's accusing the DOJ of withholding material that Congress required under the Bipartisan Epstein Files Transparency Act. So I don't know if this will be the same type of situation where it's closed door and then we'll get the video later like we did with the Clintons. But
did you guys see the Mark Wayne Mullen had a hearing today to be the new DHS?
Let me guess. He was combative.
Well, it was. I thought it was an embarrassment to the country.
Oh, geez.
The way that Rand Paul was the chairman of the committee. And he just made the whole thing, whether you like Rand or you don't like Rand, or you like Mark Wayne, you don't like Mark Wayne. But so much of it was just about, do you remember when you said that you understood why my neighbor attacked me? And it just was all about that. And calling each other liars. And you said you had a conversation with me and you didn't. Oh, yes, we did. We were in a room with pink flowers and Jerry was there. It was so stupid.
Yeah, that shouldn't be personal stuff.
Oh, dude, I disagree. I thought it was a really important conversation. I don't think we have time to get into it now. Maybe we can talk about the next segment. But like, I thought it was a great example of, hey, if you're going to be out there talking trash publicly, especially as a public servant, eventually you are going to have to sit across a table from the person you're making those comments about, and you're going to have to hash it out.
How did it end? I didn't see the end.
He was asked if he would stood by, or he was like, so you think it's fine that I was assaulted? He's like, no, I don't think I didn't say I thought it was good that you were assaulted. I just said I understood why he did. So
that's this is so much about this to hate, but what a weasel way to answer. Are you the big tough guy who's a tough talker and a big man, or are you not? If you're willing to say it the first time, then stand by it.
That's what I'm saying is this interaction just kind of proves what you say and do on the internet, what you say and do publicly with your friends, it actually does matter. But we've moved into this zone, our politicians included, where it's just like, oh, who cares? Just say it because you'll get that great clapback moment and it'll be amazing. No, it actually does matter. There are consequences for this sort of thing.
I would vote no, just he has two first names.
Together.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Tell you guys about my friends at Ophthalmology Associates and the Cornea and Laser Vision Institute. I go see Dr. Greg Birdie. Great guy, listens to the show, texts me every couple of months. He'll be listening to the show and make some kind of a comment. His longtime partner, Dr. Malhotra, Drs. Brusati and Royer, round out the doctors, which we call ourselves because at any given time, we have about 250 local and regional physicians who come to us for the eye care. I just had my comprehensive physical today from my general doctor, my GP, and he had a report from Dr. Birdie about my eyes. I was just kind of impressed by that I didn't ask anyone to do that. They just, communicate back and forwards. The docs are medical doctors. They can do surgeries. The LASIK procedure is very popular. It has really, really come a long way from when I first heard about it, maybe 20, 25 years ago. Last time I saw the doc, he said I had little baby cataracts, but probably shouldn't have to worry about it until I'm about 75. But if you're closer to that age and if you're having problems with your eyes, that's probably what it is. Comprehensive exam, not going to cost you more than like another place, but you're going to have real doctors taking a look at you or your loved one's eyes. 314-966-5000, youridoc.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, this traffic report is a service of Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Again, if you're in Metro East, they're still working a crash on westbound 64 west of 158. Traffic's jammed more than midway back to Route 4. The right lanes are blocked. A lot of folks are getting off and taking or 50 trying to get onto that point is kind of backed up as well in the area. So just be prepared. There's a lot of congestion around there on the north side of Scott. Eastbound 64, of course, you have the roadwork delays, 255 midway to 159. Eastbound 70, east of the Musial Veterans Bridge over to 64 is bumper to bumper. That's a minor crash in the safety V, eastbound 70 before 270. That's the reason why traffic is slow east of the Blanchette Bridge through there. It was not any lane blocks when I looked a couple minutes ago. Westbound Highway 70, you got slow traffic 94 to Zunbell, TR Hughes out through Highway K and A to Z in Wentzville. North 270 north of Dorset, the right lanes are slow. South 270 approaching Olive to Ladue, busy. A little slow at Manchester, and then a couple of spots, 44 down to Gravois. Southbound 55 is busy. Gasconade through Bates, a couple of really pockets down to River to Pear, Butler Hill to Merrimack Bottom, and south of M down through Z, all heavy traffic on southbound 55, westbound 64. From the Science Center headed out through McCausland and Winghaven out to 70 is stop-and-go pockets. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call them for a free estimate today. Now offering 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Join us for the Rally With Us MLB Opening Day events on March 25th, 9 to 1 p.m. at the Rally House Brentwood Point location. There'll be a live broadcast, giveaways, and the first 100 customers through the doors receive a Valley House Opening Day scratcher ticket. And don't forget to pick up your opening day gear while you stop in. Rally House is your home for outrageously authentic Cardinals gear, on-field hats, jerseys, and apparel straight from the source. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX, the official sportsbook of Kevin Wheeler, and also great place to continue to have fun throughout the March Madness. So right now, FanDuel's dropping bonus bets into everyone's account for the tournament. So all you have to do is opt in to claim that bonus, and then you can use them the way you want. You can use them on the same teams that you're picking for your bracket. You can do separate things. Obviously, you can play it the way you want, right? Bet the money line, just straight up win or lose. You can use the spreads, totals, game props. Even use some of the same game parlays. They all count towards those bonus bets. And you don't want to wait because they're not going to be around forever. Just keep in mind, if your bracket goes out early, you don't have to. With the FanDuel Sportsbook, you can just keep on playing. So it's FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. And, of course, the max bonus is $500 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gaming problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Working hard but still falling behind? Learn how real estate investing can help you build income and move forward with purpose. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship. minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Welcome back, guys. DGS. When we come back, we're going to have the president and CEO of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in studio with us. Looking forward to that. Rach, some breaking news about the weekend.
Yeah, the city of St. Louis has announced that there's going to be a youth curfew in downtown St. Louis this weekend. The article I'm looking at says from 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. I think they mean 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. In downtown and downtown west neighborhoods. So Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, and this applies to individuals who are 17 years old or younger. And you may remember in the past, Mitch McCoy has said, or the SLMPD has said, parents are going to be held responsible for the behavior of their children. They're saying that again. So we'll see what happens.
Good. Tell you guys about Mosby Building Arts. One of the benefits of working with a design build firm like Mosby is not having to coordinate multiple contractors yourself. That happens with pretty much everyone but us. One of the biggest complaints that you hear to the BBB is about construction companies. And one of the biggest complaints you hear about construction companies to the BBB is how I didn't know that the plumber was coming in. I didn't know that I didn't know that I had to go out and hire my own XYZ. With Mosby, we do all of that. Here's a specific review about it from one of our customers. All the carpenters, project managers, and designers were excellent to work with, very polite and respectful of the property. We appreciated that it was all in one from design to completion, that we didn't have to general manage the project ourselves. So if you are interested in doing any kind of remodeling inside, outside of your home, simply visit callmosby.com to discover Mosby's 5-star full-service offerings.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, this is not the time for, I hope this works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 7th at the All Financial Group offices. You'll learn how to deal with rising costs, taxes, crazy markets, and the fear of running out of money. The date again is April the 7th. It's complimentary, but you must reserve a seat. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for Game Day Men's Health. You'll find them at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. And I'll just give you a quick bit of advice that I took myself. If you're dealing with something and you don't feel right, take care of it. If you do your normal routine, right, you go to your doctor every year, you make sure, you don't have anything really serious going on, but you don't feel right. You feel your age, your legs are heavy, you're tired. Maybe you want to lose some weight and you want to think about medical weight loss. Game Day Men's Health has all kinds of great options. For me, it was the testosterone replacement therapy. That was what was going to get me where I wanted to be. And I have been there for 10 months now. Everything has gone smoothly. Workouts are easier. Recovery from difficult events easier. Just feel better every single day. And if you're thinking about something along those lines, they've got great answers for you. Same thing for the medical weight loss. And they have